Hi students, welcome back to our biology classes. Yes, this is Divya Kanimilli and I am going to teach you biology classes. Yes students, today here we are again to understand the more interesting topic under the chapter diversity in living organisms. Yes, today's topic is about the kingdom Plantae. So the kingdom Plantae, it includes a wide varieties of plants, okay, which are present on this beautiful earth, right? So these plants are of different types. We have seen some plants are very tall, some plants are very short, some plants will grow or spread over the ground, and some plants will even present in the water, right? We have seen a different plants, right? So all these plants will come under the kingdom Plantae. So what are the characteristic features of kingdom Plantae? Yes, we have already glanced this in the previous classes, right? So it is eukaryotic, multicellular, autotrophic organisms, right? So these are autotrophic organisms. Why? Because they possess a chlorophyll pigment in them which helps in the process of photosynthesis. By that they can prepare their own food, right? So and these plants are having a cell wall in them, right? So these are the important key characteristic features which kingdom Plantae includes, right? So now it is a time to understand how the kingdom Plantae is being further divided. Okay, so the kingdom Plantae is being further divided into 5 divisions. Okay students, you need to remember that. If it is in case of plants, we need to say it as a division. If it is in case of animals, it will be a phylum. Okay, so the kingdom is further divided into divisions in case of plants. The kingdom will be further divided into phylums in case of animals. Okay, so the kingdom Plantae have been further divided into 5 divisions. Okay, so these 5 divisions are classified based upon the key characteristic features. There are mainly 3 characteristic features which are used to classify the kingdom Plantae into 5 divisions. Okay, what are those? Let us get into the topic now. So, classification of kingdom Plantae. So, the kingdom Plantae, if you see here, the first and foremost characteristic feature which is used to divide the kingdom Plantae is that presence or absence of differentiated plant parts. So what do I mean by differentiated here? So differentiated means, see here, if all cells are involved in performing a same function. For example, when you take amoeba, a single cell will perform all digestion, excretion, nutrition, respiration, all these things will take place in a single cell, right? So it is undifferentiated cell. But in case of us, we have different cells which are involved in excretion, we have different cells which are involved in nutrition, we have different cells which are involved in circulation, right? So for each and every function we have a different cells. Okay, these different cells are what? They are specified in such a way that they are going to perform a specific function. Okay, so those cells which are involved in performing in specific function, such cells we call as differentiated cells. Okay, these differentiated cells will form a group together and forms a tissue, and this tissue will lead to a formation of an organ, right? So, when plants do not have any differentiated plant parts, that means what? If they do not have any leaves, stems, roots, flowers, like this, if they do not possess any differentiated plant parts, then this group of plants are divided into one division, namely Thallophyta. What it is? A Thallophyta. Okay, so there is one more group which possess a differentiated plant parts. That means in this group of plants, they possess all the differentiated plant parts like leaves, stem, roots. Okay, all these differentiated body parts are present in this group of plants. Okay, if you see, like that plants we have many, right? We have many different types of plants which possess leaves, stem, roots, flowers, fruits, right? So that means here we need to think of, yes, we need to think of a second important characteristic feature which helps in further division of the kingdom Plantae. So when you see here, the kingdom Plantae have been further divided based upon the next characteristic feature, that is presence or absence of specialized tissue. What is a specialized tissue here? Presence or absence of vascular tissue. Okay, so what do you mean by vascular tissue, students? Yes, it is nothing but the xylem and phloem. So the presence or absence of xylem and phloem in the plants is the next characteristic feature which we are going to use for further division of the kingdom Plantae. So when a plants have a vascular tissue, okay, so when a plants have a vascular tissue, what is the use? Yes, we know that the xylem and phloem are involved in transportation of substances like food, minerals and water from one part of the plant body to another part of the plant body, right? So for that the vascular tissue plays a very important role, and even you might have seen when a plant possesses a vascular tissue, they can grow from greater heights. Why? Because a transporting system is present for the supply of these substances, and we need to keep it in mind when a vascular tissue is absent. When a vascular tissue is absent here, that means these plants cannot grow to greater heights. They are very much near to the ground. Okay, so why they are very much near to ground? Why? Because they do not have any vascular tissue to transport their essential substances from one part of the plant body to another part of the plant body. That means these plants are mainly a poorly developed plants which are mainly involved in diffusion of substances from the ground. Understanding? Okay. So, the group of plants which do not possess a specialized vascular tissue, such group of plants are grouped as a division Bryophyta. The other group which possess the vascular tissue, again we have many plants which are having a vascular tissue, and that means it is a time for a next characteristic feature, that is presence or absence of seeds. That means the plants, whether they are able to produce the seeds or they are not able to produce the seeds. Okay, that is the next important characteristic feature which helps in division of kingdom Plantae. So when a plants are unable to produce the seeds, then such group of plants are grouped as a division Pteridophyta. Students, see here I have underlined the P here. So I need to remember you that P is silent here. So here P is silent, so only we need to pronounce it as a Pteridophyta. Okay, it is a Pteridophyta. Don't pronounce P, but when you are writing, you need to mention the P. And there are other group of plants which are able to produce the seeds. That means these group of plants which are able to produce the seeds are called as Fenerogums. Okay, Fenerogums are again of different types. That means there are few Fenerogums which bear a naked seed, and there are other Fenerogums which bear seeds within a fruit. That means naked seeds means here what you know. So the seeds are directly exposed to the environment. Okay, so seeds inside a fruit means what here? So when you take a mango, the seed is present inside the fruit. So a seed is being covered by a fleshy part, right? So a seeds which are present inside a fruit and seeds which are naked to environment. So these are the next type which we can see in Fenerogums. So the group of plants which produce a naked seeds are called as Gymnosperms, and the other group produces seeds inside a fruit are called as Angiosperms. Okay, so the Angiosperms again have two different types. Okay, so based upon the presence of cotyledons. If they possess two cotyledons in them, they are called as dicots. If they have only one cotyledon in them, they are called as monocots. So students, you know, right? Dvidala, Ekadala. Okay, Ekadala means monocots, Dvidala andre dicots. Okay, so here the five important divisions you understood, right? The first division is Talophyta, the second one is Bryophyta, and the third one is Pteridophyta, and the fourth Gymnosperm, and the fifth Angiosperm. So these are the five important plant divisions which we can see under the kingdom Plantae. Okay, so these 5 divisions are being again studied in detail in the further classes. Okay students, this is all about today's class. Yes, let us learn more interesting topics in upcoming classes. Yes, in upcoming classes we will be learning about each divisions of kingdom Plantae. Do like, share and subscribe to the channel. Thank you.